Where the Islamic Republic
Because
is
this
funding
isn't about
it.
Iran.
You need to have some double standards,
It
bro.
is.
This is about
If the
Israel.
Islamic Republic wasn't involved, none of this would have happened.
That's not true at all.
Oh, really? Who's funding Hamas?
1948.
Who's funding Hamas?
1948. Get an education,
Who's
then talk to
funding
me.
Hamas?
Israel
These
has
guys are
again.
not worth our time. They're not capable
yeah,
of a complex
they're not.
thought.
No,
You're not worth our
against the
time.
Iranian regime, so everyone
Can you
against
focus
Listen,
with
you
Irani?
can
Can
be
you focus
against
with
the
Irani,
Iranian
please?
against the Israeli state.
Can
You
everyone
guys
just
are
like
not
focus
welcome.
with Irani?
If you weren't holding that symbol of genocide, 100 million people, I would take you more seriously.
You need to be respectful, man. Like that's
Respectful of what? If somebody was holding a swastika, would you take them
But that's a
seriously?
swastika. But that's why you need to. But that's why you need to have free speech. That's why, like, we have a country that has free speech.
No.
It doesn't matter if it's a
If
Nazi or
somebody
if
was
it's a.
holding a swastika and then claimed that they're making logical arguments, would you take them seriously?
I wouldn't take them seriously, but I would want to hear why they're speaking that way.
I
Like,
know.
where does that come
History
from?
has shown us where that comes from. These are parasitic ideologies.
Do you really
that,
think so?
Yeah, that come from rich countries. Where did socialism originate?
Socialism?
In Europe.
Okay.
Why? Europe was producing capital,
Yeah.
getting rich,
Yeah.
and these ideologies come as a result of that.
Okay.
Socialism has no place in third world countries who haven't produced any wealth.
Okay.
So when somebody is carrying hammer and sickle, the sign that Stalin walked under
Yeah.
and killed like 40 million people,
Okay.
20 to 40 million.
Okay.
Mao walked on there and killed 50 million people in
Okay.
his own country. I can't take them as somebody who's talking to me with logic and knowledge and somebody who actually is aware what they're talking about, because they're carrying that symbol and everything that comes with that symbol.
Okay.
That's all there is to it.
Okay, but
I'm
you
not
will-
carrying the symbol. I told you. If you can have an actual representative of Palestinian people, then you could actually make arguments in the international community.
But that's like
But
I
when
don't think
you're
Abbas is a good representative.
No, he's not. Palestinians don't believe in the guy. Nobody. Oh, he is the lowest.
Okay, so there's something that we can both
That's
agree
why there's
on.
been 20 years of no elections. When Hamas came to power, they literally shot everybody from Fatah. They shot them. They threw them off buildings. They shot them when they won the election. They massacred the previous government. This is not a normal situation. And going with the victim narrative, okay, it might help you in the media, but won't do anything for the ground, on the ground. On the ground, you need to first get rid of the main problem that doesn't want negotiation, that doesn't even consider the other side humans, which is Hamas, all the other Islamic Jihad and all of those. Get rid of them, and then you can go into international community and be like, hey, we now have a government representative who's basically our voices and cares about our people, actually cares about our people, not the resistance and the ideology, wants our people to live a normal life, have freedoms and all that stuff. Now let's talk about what Israel is doing wrong.
But dude, the thing is that, like, if I try to pull out those plants right now, I pull out the plants, but I'm not taking out the root. You need to figure out the root of the problem. And what is the root of the problem in your opinion?
Root of the problem is an ideology, the same ideology that Saudi Arabia and UAE are wiping out in their own countries. Islam never went through a renaissance, okay? That's the problem. Christianity went through a renaissance. Judaism went through a reformation. Islam never did, okay? As long as Islam has not become more suitable for modern times, it's gonna have huge problems. That's why Saudi Arabia and UAE are cracking down on Islamists, jihadists in their own countries.
But wasn't Saudi Arabia the ones that like funded the Wahhabis?
Yeah, they did a lot for a long time in response to the Islamic Republic in Iran.
And-
They admit it.
And the 9/11
And they say
terrorists
they
were.
did wrong. They admit that they supported Wahhabis. The prince said it actually, the crown prince said, we supported Wahhabis in response to the Islamic Republic's support of Shia terrorism. And it was wrong. It was a bad policy, bad strategy. It was wrong. It did a lot of damage. Okay? And now they realize, no, you need to crush fundamentalism. As long as you don't crush fundamentalism, nothing will be fixed.
But do you really trust the Saudis?
I trust that they want the best for their country.
I don't know, man.
their
Did they not
country
kill?
is
Did they
doing
not kill
great
Jamal
financially.
Khashoggi? Like,
Who was Jamal Khashoggi?
he was
Are we
a
gonna get into
journalist.
that?
No, I mean like.
You know who
regardless-
Jamal Khashoggi? You know his brother was a Wahhabi Muslim brother.
Yeah, I do know.
Arms dealer.
Yeah, but I'm just saying.
Why
you can't
was
just be
what happened to
killing-
Jamal Khashoggi? Look, that's the thing. If you're gonna measure the rest of the world with Canadian values, it's not gonna work out.
No.
You have to measure them by their own history and what happens in those countries. Okay? The West has gone through some, again, reformations and renaissance and gone through a lot of things and bloodsheds to get to where they are, that now human rights and all that for our citizens. Those countries have not gone through that, but they need to be able to go through it. You can't impose values of now in these countries who have gone through those bloodsheds on countries who haven't. Okay? Saudi Arabia understands that. Okay? They assassinated Jamal Khashoggi. It's not right to assassinate by any way, but Jamal Khashoggi was a terrorist supporter who was a big supporter of the Saudi family when the Saudi family was supporting terrorism. The moment Saudis decided to change their policy, Jamal Khashoggi became their biggest opponent in the media. And you know his ties to the Muslim Brotherhood and arms deal. Okay, so they were basically cleaning house. I'm not supporting it, but I'm explaining why that happened. These bloodsheds happen in countries who want to go through reformation. In the West, they went through it a very long time ago. So now they're just looking at others like, yeah, why are you doing this? And it's like, yeah, you did this too, but 100 years ago, bro. 80 years ago, there was a World War II. 80 million people were killed for your systems to basically get their shit together. You can't expect countries who haven't gone through that to just magically get better. There's gonna be bloodshed. Look at East Europe, Yugoslavia. That was Europe. The moment Soviets went away, what happened? Massacre, genocide, because it had not gone through that basically phase. East Bloc had not gone through that phase. These ethnicities just had that tribal idea and they just genocided Serbians, genocided the Bosnians, okay? Because they had not gone through what the Western Europe had gone through. These things don't change because like, oh, that guy did something wrong or this government is doing this. These things change when societies go through massive changes. And number one change that needs to happen is Islamic fundamentalism and jihadism needs to be crushed. As long as that is not crushed, which is now the biggest sponsor of it is the Islamic Republic in Iran and IRGC. As long as that is not crushed, nothing will be fixed. Nothing in the Palestinian areas will be fixed.
So you think once that's fixed, everything will be fixed?
Oh, absolutely, because nobody's going to fund terrorists anymore. There's going to be no money in Palestine for creating war. There's going to be more money for them if they don't. They're now getting funded. It's all about the money. Money comes in, Palestinian Authority says, if you kill a Jew, an Israeli, this is the amount you're going to get. It becomes a business, self-sustaining business.
But that's just the thing is that like the United States, they funded the Taliban, they funded Al-Qaeda, they
Don't
funded
get me started on
ISIS.
the terrible things that the United States have done.
Yeah,
We're not arguing that.
And Israel has also like been involved in funding.
Israel has done many mistakes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the
What
thing is
I'm
about the
telling you
West.
is right now, this war that is happening, Israel is retaliating as a war to what was done.
But
and
that's-
you
but
can't
that-
blame
that's-
it.
but that's the thing,
And
you
when
shouldn't
they
do that.
dropped 30,000 bombs, and even according to Hamas, 30,000 people have died, it means basically one bomb per person. That's not carpet bombing. That's not
No, I
genocide.
don't think it's 30,000 bombs. I think it's more than that actually.
Well,
I would
more
have
than
to
that.
fact check.
Oh, that's even worse. 50,000 bombs. And 30,000 people have died?
Right now, I think it's like maybe 43,000.
Okay.
But
For 50,000 how many bombs?
I would have to double check, man. If you can check right now.
Let's go with the middle. 40,000 bombs, 40,000 people have died.
Okay.
Okay? That's one bomb per person. You know how dense population-wise that area is? Okay?
Yeah.
If you drop one bomb, if you're not really paying attention, how many people can die? Okay? In 24 hours, allies in Dresden killed over 100,000 people.
Yeah.
In Tokyo, 24 hours, 100,000 people. They
Yeah.
burned Tokyo to the ground.
Yeah.
Why? Because they were carpet bombing. They just wanted to kill as many as they wanted, and they could.
Yeah.
Israel is not doing that. Let's not
Actually,
fool
I
ourselves.
think Israel has used dumb bombs. That's the
There's
thing.
2 million people in that area. If Israel wanted to just be not pay attention to where they're dropping the bombs, way more people would have died so far.
But that's the thing. I don't
Way
think
more.
I don't think Israel's just trying to like wipe it like that. I think they want to be very strategic
Yeah.
because they want their people to come back to the strip. That's the thing.
That's the thing. So stop saying it's a genocide.
But that's
It's
the
not a genocide. If it was a genocide, they would just wipe everybody out.
But it's based on the evidence that has been told, especially from I'm trying to remember who that woman is, the UN woman, Francesca.
No, I'm sorry.
And-
UN is completely infiltrated organization. When they don't, when the UN basically WHO doesn't recognize Taiwan as a country, it's a completely infiltrated organization. UN has no authority on anything. UN is just a gang of non-democratic countries imposing their will on democratic countries.
So
I don't-
whose authority do you
there's no
trust?
real
then?
authority.
There's no real authority.
Every country is doing things that is beneficial to them. There is no good guy sitting at the top trying to fix things.
Okay.
All these people are pawns of the Islamic Republic forcing its will on the West. Quds State was created by Khomeini.
Okay.
It's not an Arab thing, it's not a Muslim thing. Khomeini created it to create chaos and mayhem in other countries, Western countries, because it knew Muslim population would be drawn to it, and they spend a lot of money on it. The regime in Iran spends a lot of money on it.
Okay.
That's what Quds State is. All these people they think they're helping Palestine. They're not. They're helping the Islamic Republic because Quds State is theirs. It's the regime, the Islamic regime narrative and child in Iran. That's what they're doing. They're showing the West that look how powerful the regime in Iran is in your countries. On Quds Day, that is something that the regime in Iran started. See how many people are gathering in your cities. Fear the Islamic Republic. That's the message. That's what I'm saying. It's not about, like there is an authority that you can appeal to and they're gonna say everybody's after their own thing. So if you want change for Palestine, you need to get an authority in Palestine who cares about their own thing, their own people. That's the only way to negotiate with anybody else.
Okay. So you're saying that like if Hamas surrenders, gives away all the hostages.
Hamas will not surrender.
But I'm just saying. If Israel also gives like they swap the hostages, both of them, both sides, and Hamas surrenders, do you feel like there will be some peace?
Absolutely. Dude, Israel pulled out of Gaza, pulled out of south of Lebanon. In return for what? Hezbollah promising not to attack. Israel pulled out. And what did Hezbollah do in 2007? They attacked. Israel gave complete authority of Gaza to whoever Palestinians voted for. Okay? In return for what? Peace. Israel is a rich country. Look at it from the people's point of view. That's the thing when you dehumanize people. It's like Israeli people, the main thing that they want is not to be worried about a missile falling on them or their children getting killed. That's what any parent feels like. That's what Israelis want too. That's why these attacks just make things worse, because the middle in Israel starts getting more power as things calm down, because there is no feeling of urgency and war and protection. And then an attack happens and hardliners in Israel get power. And then they impose more shit, and then more bad things. It's a self-sustaining thing, man. It's a cycle.